Will the elections change anything?
I think that the real challenge is to convince the Greek society that there are no easy solutions and that the pain and sacrifices that they're going through are not going to be in vain, and that at the end of the day you will have a stronger economy, you will have a better functioning state, that confidence will return, investment will return, jobs will be created, and that's not very easy. It's not a very easy argument to pass when you are in the middle of the recession and unemployment is over 20% and 1 in 2 young people is out of a job, clearly. This is why it is extremely important for a coalition government to emerge. This is what will happen because looking at the polls, it is clear that no party will have an outright majority. This is not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. We had a huge majority. We had an absolute parliamentary majority. But it proved that we could not, one party cannot take the whole burden of the changes, because the changes are very, very difficult, they are wide-ranging, and you need a broader political support to be able to convince society of their need.
As Finance Minister, you were the one that signed the Memorandum of Understanding with the IMF, the ECB and the European Commission. Do you have any regrets?
None whatsoever in terms of signing the only possible loan for a country to avoid bankruptcy. It is clear that the first MOU was signed in a specific European environment. Europe was very skeptical about Greece at the time. It is clear that the terms on which it was signed in a different environment would have been different. And it is clear that we then proceeded to improve it. We reduced interest rates, we extended the repayment period. But even that first memorandum, we got a longer period for adjustment, 5 years rather than the original 3. So negotiations were tough. Europe itself was figuring out how to deal with this kind of crisis at that point. Europe has learned a lot in the process, and we now have a better environment, not just for Greece, but for the rest of Europe.
How's it been for you personally? It can't have been easy. It hasn't exactly made you the most popular person in Greece, I'd imagine.
It's been very tough, and you can imagine that having to cut wages and pensions, even if we try to cushion the lower pension and the lower wages, increasing taxes is not what makes a politician popular. But this is not a popularity contest. This was about helping Greece remain standing and not declare bankruptcy, which would have led to an exit from the euro. And there is a clear, vast majority in Greece in remaining in the euro. What we now need to do is to explain to people what is necessary in order to remain in the eurozone.
And how's it been for you personally?
For me personally, and for all politicians, it's been very tough. For me personally, I have been, given that I've been one of the key players in this whole drama, you often blame the messenger. You often blame the guy who's trying to put out the fire for not doing it fast enough or efficiently enough, not the guys who put the fire in the first place. So personally, it's been very tough. A lot of us live under a peculiar house arrest. We go from the office to our home and to Parliament. It is very difficult in the current environment to have a normal life, but that's the price to pay.
Greece has had 2 bailouts and 1 debt restructuring, the largest ever. Is that going to be enough?
I think yes, but a lot of it depends also on how the rest of Europe goes. I am hopeful that after the French elections there are winds of change in Europe that will make for decisions that see a little bit more clearly and with more foresight on what needs to be done to maintain a eurozone with fiscal discipline, but also with growth prospects and with more solidarity. If that emerges, then I think that we will be able to say that by having these 2 bailout packages and together with the restructuring of the Greek debt, the Greek economy is now on a solid footing to get out of the crisis.
So it's on a solid enough footing, just to be clear, that in contrast to what many analysts think, that Greece will have to have perhaps a third bailout, that perhaps another debt restructuring, this time involving public creditors. You don't think that that's something that's going to be necessary?
I think it's important to remember what many people are discounting at the moment. We are finally entering into primary surpluses. This means that we are able to take care of our own expenditures and gradually start reducing the debt. Once the economy starts picking up again, once we exit the recession, that will be the final sign that Greece will be able to make it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.